Quiche should be a breakfast food. Straight, right? Hot quiche I will accept as a breakfast food. If somebody came up to me in a restaurant and was like, hello sir, would you like scrambled egg and bacon a la pastre in a fancy restaurant for breakfast? I'd be like, yeah, sounds. And if it came out as a quiche, I wouldn't be disappointed. But cold quiche just, it's got nostalgia on its side, hasn't it? It just hits you right in the, remember when I was in year 6? Oh, remember spending a summer in Devon with the picnic by the beach. Oh, especially do you remember mini quiches? They were a thing for a while, weren't they? Right? And especially when there's a little bit of cheese in there as well, because the cheese just adds a little bit of mature flavour.
My nostalgia for quiche is trying to be force-fed it by my aunt and repeatedly telling her, no, I don't like it.
Quiche is a snack food. It's a not a finger food, but it goes out weddings, birthdays, work events. Any time that there's a small buffet, quiche is going to be there, and quiche is the star, the underrated star, right? It's not a sausage roll. It's not like people are queuing up out the door for it. It's not a little cocktail sausage or one of those mini Scotch eggs. No. Quiche just sits there. Noble. Going cold.
Knowing it's the worst thing there.
Going cold. Ready for when people take an interest.
When there's nothing else left.
The quiche comes straight out of the oven. No fucker wants it. That noble quiche, when I've had 6 or 7 beers and I'm spread out in the fucking community centre table looking for something to eat. Fuck me, boys, there's a quarter of a quiche there. That's Jim's. one bite. I know you can't see this, listeners. Like a duck.
Like a seagull.
And I'm satisfied with my cold quiche. Hot quiche, that's ludicrous. Hot quiche for anything other than breakfast would be like sacrilegious.
Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
The show we were too lazy to pitch to TV.
The podcast game show where 2 friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the 2 answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they're saying.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with, no takebacks.
Our special round for Season 1 is Round 3 Fight, where the questioner will pick a universe from which the answerers must pick a character within it, and they must convince the questioner that their character will win in a one-on-one fight to the death.
That's the game.
Well done, Dan.
Okay. Here we are again with episode 3 of Would a Panther Kill... Episode 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are with episode 4 of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild? It's still me, Kirk, it's still James, and it's still Smokey D.
Smokey D.
Smokey D.
Yeah, we're sat here this time with a couple of cans of cider.
Bit of cider.
Bit of mixed fruit cider.
And I'd like to sponsor us and give us their cider.
Yep.
Great.
We'd be more than open to alcohol-based sponsorship opportunities.
We will mention your name.
Or any sponsorship opportunities.
We'll
Is
mention
episode
your
4
name.
when we can start begging?
I think so.
I feel like you already have anyway.
So in this episode, as always, as you just heard in the intro, you know all the rules already. In this episode, I've got the closed question, Dan's got the open question, and James has the final round 3 fight question. So I start us off. I've got the magical 10p, which is my 10p this time.
Describe the 10p.
It's a little faded, but it has got the shield on it like you had last time.
Okay,
what
year is it?
It's a 2010.
Oh, I think that might be the newest 10p.
The newest 10p?
No, mine was 16.
Oh, was it?
Oh, no.
2016.
Okay,
well,
so,
in the middle.
So that,
I could be lying.
That 2010, the year I left school.
Yeah, well, year after. So, closed question to start off with. Here we go. I'm going to flip the coin and I'll decide which ones you are. Let's go with this one. So, I've stolen it from a very well-known TV show. And I've always wondered the answer. It's pondered on me for years. And they went one way on the TV show, but I don't know. I think it could have gone the other. And I'm going to make you guys fight it out for me.
Okay.
So the question is, well, it's from How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, I've not really watched it.
Well, it's irrelevant. You don't need to know anything about it?
No, that's fine. Have you watched it then?
I've watched enough
Enough.
to know the characters' names.
Cool.
Maybe.
Well, then you probably know the question, which is even better, but you don't need to know anything about the show. It's just a question that one of the characters poses to another.
Okay.
The question is, would you rather get bitch slapped in the face 10 times right now, or only 5 times, but it can be whenever or wherever the person slapping feels fit?
Yeah, I know this reference. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to flip the coin. If it's tails, Dan, you're going to be the 5 times whenever.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
That's tails.
It's a tails.
5
Dan
times
is
whenever.
5 times whenever. James, you are 10 times right now. What is better?
Well, okay, so it's a double, right? So Dan's got the advantage that he only has it half as much,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at least I know it's coming. Like right here, right now, in front of obviously in this room, right here, right now, who's going to be doing the slapping? Is it you or Dan?
It's me.
Right, so Kirk, you're going to slap me. Dan's the only person here. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the two of you could go out and you could tell everyone, but like, why does it matter? Because you'll look like a bully. right? That's it. So it's like, well, why did Kirk slap you 10 times around the face? Well, we're recording a podcast and my answers weren't good enough. And that's it, right? It's job done. Right. So I'm like, it's coming. There's no fear. There's no suspense. Like, I could just imagine living your life, because it could, there's no time limit on when these 5 slaps could happen.
No.
Right? And I imagine,
Whenever.
I imagine they're quite firm slaps as well, if they're classed as big slaps.
Decent. Big.
Yeah, do they have to come all at once?
For your 10?
No, for the 5.
No. It can be 1, then
It
10
could
years
be.
later.
But then,
It could be a sudden 2, but...
That's fear. I can't,
that's thrill, that is.
we've already gone down the, I'm medicated for anxiety route, yeah? We talked about that in the first episode, how knowing what's going to happen makes life so much easier, right? So, obviously you can't completely remove any uncertainty, but at least if you go home tonight, you go home with a sore cheek. But, Kirk's never going to need to slap me again.
Okay.
I'll improve. I'll be better.
So your argument is that by the time I've got to the 6th one, you're already used to this and you've accepted what you've accepted.
No, it's not
He's already dead.
Not even that. Are you going to alternate cheeks? Is it going to be like a wow?
Oh.
Oh, it could be.
Or is it like a one cheek only? Is it like? Is it like
Okay.
a bad game? Like when you've seen those slaps championships.
I feel like it's got to be the same cheek, right?
No, I think for this, no.
Alternate would be funnier.
I think alternate, but because of how I'd want to do it, it'd be
Backhand.
forehand, backhand.
Well, no, that's fine. Because the important thing is I can brace for it.
Okay.
You can kind of psych yourself up. I can be like, right, come on, 10 slaps right now. And that would be it.
Uh-huh.
And then... Was that 10?
Oh, I don't know. I won't count.
Was that only 8?
That was 8.
Was that only 8? I thought that was
See,
10.
he's already psyching himself out here going, was that 10 already? No.
That
wouldn't know.
hurt my hand. That hurt my hand, and it would hurt my cheek. And I'd be going into the office tomorrow with a palm print,
A red eye.
Both sides.
both sides. And somebody would be like, you must have upset someone. I'd be like, yeah, Kirk. But that pain fades.
Okay. I like it. Dan, how do you argue this?
I argue it that I think it's actually worked out nicely for you that because of your anxiety stuff. I don't have that issue. I did briefly chuck in there the thrill of it. I love a good thrill.
Okay,
Good
yeah.
roller coaster.
Do you get to fight back?
No.
If you see Kirk sneaking around the corner of a supermarket shelf,
I think I'd be able to have more fun with it as opposed to just getting smacked.
How
on
would
the
you
spot.
have fun with it? Because if it was me and I knew I could stab you at any point in the month, and I'm going to see you 100 times in the year, every time I would just,
But then I'd sort of know it. I guess I wouldn't know it's coming, when, but I'd sort of know that you're going to slap me at some point, and it's like you'd be joking about it, and I'd be able to joke back, oh, here it comes. But then if it doesn't, it doesn't, and I go home with a normal face.
I just get this image of Dan's ran the length of the field, scored a touchdown, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Dan!" And you just Conk him out.
Like not even in training, just in a game.
Yeah, like literally championship on the line, finals. Bang! Well, there's Dan.
Or not even. It's touchdown for the win. I'm about to catch it, and Kirk's hand just smacks me.
Kirk runs onto the field.
I'm on like the corner pylon.
I mean, there's more potential for comedy.
Yeah,
Sure. There is
yeah.
that.
I think it works both ways, doesn't it? Right, not in your case.
What do you mean?
I think you'd melt down if it was you
I'd
having
be
the
curled up in
fights.
a corner. Like Kirk, do you still obey the real laws of the world? Like,
You can't
if
just,
I lock my front door, you're not coming, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, like, if I'm in the bedroom making sweet love,
Right,
I'm not gonna
Kirk climbs through the window.
I'm not gonna look down at the pillow and then, like, on the other side, like, look to the left and see you lying there with a big grin. And just,
As amazing as that would be. I think I'd like to be a bit more creative than that. But yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
you saying that wasn't a very creative way to get one of your slaps?
I know, it's creative enough. The fact you locked all the doors.
Yeah.
But I think if it was the 5, I'd like to make it as
theatrical
as possible.
Yeah.
Like we've won a holiday and we're in the Bahamas and you're loving life right now, and then bang, that's the kind of moment, right?
Yeah. See, that's my argument. Is it's
Literally getting the lotto ticket that seals you. Like, the big check from the lottery comes in.
Oh, you're
Dan, you've won 65 billion on the Euro Millions, and Kirk's fist Kirk's open palm just comes flying into shot.
yeah. I think that's great.
He loves it. He can get a laugh out of it. I like that though. I like
you're
that.
getting married. You're looking your gorgeous, about to be wife in the eye, and she's just giving you your vows, and you're sitting there. Yeah, it's really emotional. There's a tear in your eye, and do you, Smokey D, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Kirk's the priest.
Would it be even funnier and scarier if I was already the priest though? You know it's coming.
Yeah, you'd be like, now I'm out.
Wait.
not now.
Dan lifts the veil. It's Kirk. He's going, fucking hell, Lauren looks tall in that dress.
Yes. It would be amazing. That's what I mean. It'd be so.
No, you just see 10 right here, right now. I can get on with my life. I'm fine.
Here's the thing. In reality, like, just getting it over and done with is usually the best thing. But in this case, I just think, like you say, so many possibilities to just. It would be hilarious.
Have a
You can
good
have a
time.
laugh with people.
How would you feel? So James has already explained how having 10 in the face right now, he goes to work the next day and, you know, he's got these huge red marks. It's only going to last a day, maybe 2 of redness, right? You'd have to deal with 1 red mark, but 5 times.
And
Yeah,
also,
well, and what?
it could be really embarrassing. Like, it could be.
Nah, I don't get
It could
embarrassed
be
that
like-
easily.
The job interviews the next day.
Yeah, like.
Right.
Well, not even that. It could be you're at the job interview. Like, you sat there in the waiting room.
I'm the other candidate.
You sat there in the waiting room, suit on, ready to go, with like a little briefcase showing your CV and everything. And you just just take your seat down there. You're next after the current gentleman. And you're there. And like, oh shit, somebody else. It's not just me for this interview. Kirk walks around the corner. Hello, Smokey D.
Hello.
Bang, smack. Not only does Kirk lose the opportunity for a fantastic new job,
Interview gets postponed.
but like the bloke's going to walk in and go, like, your boss is going to go, right, so I just witnessed that incident. What did you do to that guy that made him want to slap you like that? And then you're going to have to try and explain that.
So
your whole
we have
life,
a deal.
your whole life, like, you're just waiting for an opportunity where Kirk could be around any corner, ready to slap you.
Well, I'm happy in my job, so that's not a problem.
What about?
Also, I don't like with the embarrassment. I don't get embarrassed by that kind of thing that easily.
Okay, what about this?
Like, I've face planted the floor in front of people and just gotten up and been like, shrugged it off.
Okay, what about this? You're in the gents. Right?
I'm in a gent.
No, you're in the gents. You're in the gents, right? You've gone to the toilet, fancy restaurant maybe. Or maybe even worse, what's your worst nightmare? Fancy restaurant or grotty nightclub?
If Kirk's going to smack me while I'm weeing on him.
That's what I mean, though. Is like,
that's not fighting back. That's just turning and reacting.
Kirk comes and slaps you at the urinal. You fall. Ooh, still pissing, cock out. And it's like, one of the, like, on Lion King, Long Live the King. No, slow-mo. Bang, you hit the floor. Your cock's still out. You've pissed all over yourself. Either nightclub floors got even stickier because of it, or the fancy restaurant now, everyone knows that you're Monsieur Pee-Pee. What are you going to do?
Smoky P.
Smoky P.
Take it like a champ, own it. Walk out and everyone's looking at me.
It's like, have you ever had, this is the perfect analogy, and you're going to just tell me, no, I've never done that. Have you ever had your legs or your arms or anything waxed?
Yeah.
Right. The worst bit is waiting. It's the anticipation, right? It's like they lay the wax on and they leave it to set and you're going, oh God. And then like somebody grabs the strip and you're like, it's going to happen. And then it happens. But it's okay. It's the anticipation. It's the stress, the anxiety.
The thrill. See, he calls it anxiety. I call it adrenaline.
The difference in that analogy, though, compared to what might be Dan's, okay, there might be an opportunity where I'll be sat in a room looking at him and he'll be there going, he could do it right now, but he might not.
I'd almost coax you on. Go on then.
That's true.
You want him to waste the slaps.
Bring it on.
Or the other,
I start swearing at you.
Or I've seen you come down the street and I know you're going to come around this corner. I'm just waiting there. You don't even know it's coming, and then whack.
That's fine.
Then
can I add a caveat?
That's fine.
If you're going to do this to Dan, can you Naruto run whenever you're out? I just want to see you proper Naruto run down the street.
This can be a real life now. Deal. If you make it theatrical, you can do this. Genuinely.
I'd still take 10 slaps right now.
You take 10 slaps right now?
Yeah, because it would stress me out.
Easy way out. Coward's way out.
It is the coward's way out. It would stress me out too much. Like,
give him a heart attack.
It would. Like, honestly, I just couldn't imagine, like, having a shit at work. The cubicle, yeah.
You just hear like a tapping.
I've got the VR headset on, having a wank.
The hand dryer comes off.
Not in the. You're still talking about the toilet. I went to a separate. Like,
you're on the
VR headset having a wank whilst having a shit at work.
You never know. Little do you know, Kirk is looming.
Like the VR headset on, bang. What? Who was that? And Celeste will be like, "Oh, Kirk, what are you doing?"
No.
And then it'll be like, "Actually, it was Celeste. She got me. She was just blaming it on you."
What? What's happening?
Oh, you're thinking that people could get an extra shot in the dark
if you're not looking,
right? Yeah.
Well, isn't that? Well, people could do that anyway, couldn't they?
There's nothing stopping him, but there's an excuse, I guess.
Well, the difference is you've got no recourse, have you?
Oh.
Like if somebody just come, like if you were using a VR headset and somebody ran up to you and bitch slapped you, you'd take it off and you'd be like, "What the fuck, bro?"
It's a good thing I don't use a VR headset very often.
I'm just saying. I'm using that as an example. If you were bound and gagged and blindfolded,
a good thing.
That's often.
Oh yeah, sorry. After this one.
Yeah, all I'm saying is if that kind of thing, I don't know, you're asleep and Lauren slaps you in the face. You'd be like, "What? What's that about?" Kirk, and she goes, "Oh, it's Kirk."
I don't think
like, came to the window.
You're like, "Oh, okay."
I
Kirk,
think
do you want to
do that? She knows that place. Just kidding.
It was at this point that Lauren called.
Just kidding.
No, that's all I'm saying is, yeah, I personally, I'd get it over and done with.
Okay, Dan, last statement.
You're a wuss.
I'll accept being a wuss and having stability and normality in my life. Also, I just want to point out that we're both wearing NFL merch from teams we don't support.
Whereas I have one that I do. Yay!
Oh, boo.
Okay. Is that the closing? That's just you're a wuss. That's
yeah.
It.
I think
fair enough.
For me,
it's actually quite hard, guys.
For me,
this is quite hard.
That's what she said.
It really comes down to having that stability in your life.
Okay.
I don't have stability already.
Dan is a walking disaster. Don't be like Dan.
But this is really tough because I understand your point, and it's the obvious point, which is just get it done now. It's like an injection, right? I'd rather have it right now than wait a month and go, shit, it's coming up.
I mean, I don't feel like that about
with your whole theatrical thing. I think I'd be looking forward to the next one.
I quite like this. Yeah. I've never heard that before of someone saying, do you know what, it's a game now.
Bring it on.
I want to see how big you can take it. So I think I'm going to give it to Dan.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Dan. Well done. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I let it up.
Fair play, Dan. I mean, thoroughly disappointed.
Now that I've got the point. No, I'm joking.
That was round 1.
That was good.
So at the end of round 1, we have Dan taking the lead with 4 points, and then Kirk and I are tied on 3.
Oh, man. It's your question next.
It's
Dan's question. Oh, so there's a chance for one of us to go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, if I don't get this one, I'm guaranteed to be on the back foot next episode.
Damn.
Yeah, so my question, which is very exciting to me, at least. It's kind of open. It's kind of closed. It's like a multiple choice
And a jar.
Automatic door.
Yeah.
I see. I said a jar. Going on the same road though with that.
Yeah. In my lists, I've got it as an open because I feel it fits that more.
Okay.
Now, as you know, I'm a big comic book fan. I'm a big superhero person. And I always like to talk about what superpowers I'd have.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you a list of superpowers that you can pick from. It's not going to be like the green where you have to pick like immediately.
You're going to give us the 5.
I'm going to give you the 5 and then you basically claim yours as and when.
Okay.
You can go back on yourself and whatever.
But it's the first to claim it, right?
Yeah. If I say one and you claim it, that's yours. But you can hear all of them and then pick one.
Okay.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 superpowers. They all have side effects.
Right.
But I'm not going to tell you the side effect until you've picked.
Oh, I like that. So are we after the best superpower out of this list that we think is the best?
So what kind of side effects? Are they related?
Well, I'm not telling you.
So it's not like what I'm talking about is on the scale. Is it like...
Yeah, they're related.
Okay.
I see.
So
in a way.
Oh, I'm telekinetic, but I get migraines.
So you can fly, but you're a chicken, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so
but
what was I saying?
Yeah, let me just confirm. So we're picking a super move right now.
Yeah, you're picking a superpower based on what you would want.
Okay, so we
But then
want the most desirable one. Okay.
Essentially what you would want out of these 5. But then I'm going to give you your side effect, and then you have to convince me why having that power of that side effect is better than
this.
Okay. Yeah, it's a really good question. I like it.
So the 5 powers I have are flight. They're pretty generic ones.
Okay.
Flight, invisibility, teleportation, super speed, and my phone locked. Breathing underwater. They're your 5.
Breathing underwater seems a bit pointless, if you ask me.
What's the side effect with that? You're an octopus or some shit. Oh, fuck. Teleportation. I'm going to take teleportation. I'm taking it.
That's a good one. Okay, if he's taking teleportation, that would have probably been my first. I'm going to take invisibility.
Okay.
Invisibility.
He's laughing. I don't know if he's laughing already.
Can we hear the side effects for the other powers first?
Yes, please.
If you like. So flight, your side effect would have been you can only fly as high as you can jump. And and when you land, you twist your ankle every time.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Super speed. It was like real world physics. So you would affect the world around you. Like in shows, it doesn't really affect the world around you. But if you're running at like the speed of sound, you'd affect the world around you. And you also you can only do it in barefoot. So your feet would get a bit torn. And then the breathing underwater was you can no longer breathe air.
that would suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd basically just be a fish.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be an octopus.
Yeah. No, because at least octopuses have the...
they can't breathe, but they can hold it enough to...
But they also have the extra appendage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go on then.
So who would like to know theirs first? Who should we go? Kirk,
I picked first, so James can go first.
James can go first. Okay. You had invisibility, correct?
Yeah.
So you can only go invisible while you're screaming.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Kirk, teleportation.
Yeah.
Every time you teleport, you are temporarily blind for an hour. It stacks.
Oh, God.
So if you were to teleport and then 5 minutes later decide to teleport again, that'd be 2 hours.
Right. Oh, so as in...
But how would you even know you got to the right place?
Exactly.
At least with mine. So mine is just like inconvenient, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm invisible, then I'm just at the point, like, if I'm invisible but I'm screaming, then it's literally like, it's a party trick. And you can just live your normal life, but you're just
It's not inconvenient, it's fucking useless.
Yeah, but so's teleporting and being blind.
No, because, like, at least if I need to get away from somewhere, if I was being attacked by someone, and I can go, fuck it, teleport anywhere, I'm away from that situation.
I'm sorry, but you would freak anybody out if you started running, if you just started running and going, ah, and then as soon as you did that, you just disappeared. Like, people would just be like, and you'd
but
still
if
be...
they've got a gun, they know where you are.
No, because, believe me, bad guys can't aim. We've established that law. So like, I have to be screaming the whole time I'm invisible, not just like to engage or disengage.
The whole time. If you stop screaming, you're visible
That's the
again.
thing. So
Do my clothes
you're
go
audibly
invisible?
visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least I can stay fully clothed.
Yeah.
The only way your power is any way useful is if you're at a silent fucking disco. That's the only way.
What about though, if I like could put a gag in my mouth? So it's muffled at least. So instead of it being it's just like that's a way around that. So then it's like, you know how like
and Most Haunted are called.
like Spider-Man will pull his mask on and then be like, right, it's webbing time.
Brilliant.
Fly.
I'm trying to think of the superhero that does that thing.
Are you thinking of
What
the
thing?
thing
Goes
where
invisible?
No, the thing where he goes to his clubber in time.
No. There's a guy, there's one that like he puts his suit on, then he says a stupid catchphrase. Maybe I made it up.
I only know it's clubber in time.
But
I get it.
Even so, right, my super suit, I can put it on and it's got a gag. And so then like it goes in like, you know, like one of those what are they called? You know that board game where it's
just for scientific research, just stuff your mouth with something and scream right now as loud as you can.
He's grabbing some kind of
It's a blanket.
a blanket or a
Just
robe or something. Imagine. Okay, listeners, close your eyes. Imagine hearing that. There's nothing in the room with you.
I'm sorry, but if you're in downtown Manhattan and the world's falling apart and bad guys are shooting at you, you ain't going to notice someone go,
Okay, Dan, I got a question about mine. So you say it stacks, right? So does it stack in the way that if I'm teleported somewhere and for 30 minutes I'm trying to analyze my surroundings and I've realized this is where I want to be and I teleport again, is that an hour and a half or does it start
so
again?
you've used your half an hour.
Okay.
So you've still got another half an hour of blindness before your next hour would start.
Okay.
Why would you want to teleport to a halfway point?
No, it's in like if
it just means that
I think you should just be really careful where you teleport. You shouldn't be like, I'll try it. And then if you get there, whilst blind, decide that you don't want to be there.
I mean, if you're just off slightly, you're on a train track.
Well, I guess that counts to how good am I at teleporting? How good is he at being invisible?
And what do you mean? How good am I at being invisible? Invisible ain't something you get good at.
So
it's teleportation.
No, it's an okay question actually. With the invisibility, it's like you're just invisible. There's not a lot to it. You just
his clothes invisible?
His clothes are invisible.
I already established.
We've been through that.
Okay.
You can't see him whatsoever. He's not like
main
Predator
issue,
where you can see an outline or anything like that.
My main issue is I have to be able to scream long enough to make it worth it.
Oh, right. So it's so you can't just be like a quick breath. You're visible again as you breathe.
Yes.
Okay.
So
just a flash of him going.
bear in mind, I'm asthmatic and an ex-smoker.
Well, okay. So me being an audiophile, like I'm pretty okay with just using my ears. I do it for most of my jobs. I do that quite a lot. So I'm quite happy to actually live in a world where I do just listen. In fact, I've done many projects where they're called Sonic Postcards, where I've walked around Amsterdam with just a microphone. And I've not really cared what I've looked at, it's more what I've listened to. So actually, I find that pretty exciting. And I'd probably make a thing out of it. Probably make a TV show out of it. Sell it to Netflix. I made some money too.
That's pretty good. It's a good argument.
Take GoPro with me. Where am I going to go today? And then, anywhere. The downside is I could end up in Baghdad or something and not be in a good place.
You can, if you can picture it, you can go there.
Okay, cool.
So if you, it'd probably be like looking at Google Maps and being like, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, but even that, right? That can't be super accurate. Like, you can't be like, oh, I want to go to the train station, then guarantee you're going to not end
up there's
in the car park of the train station.
Yeah, there's no guarantee of that.
So,
so I can be in the vicinity.
You can go basically as specific as you can picture it.
Okay.
So if you can picture your toilet, you're there, bro.
But if
if you're like, but
if I want to go to a train station I've never been to before, I'm only at the front door.
But the thing is,
all I can picture.
For example, if I was picturing this room, I'd probably picture it from where I'm sat right now.
Right.
But because I'm picturing it from where I'm sat, I'd probably end up like on the sofa because that's what I'm picturing.
Oh,
so there'd be a slight. So if you're like,
so if you picture in the train
station,
yeah.
If you're picturing the train tracks,
picture them and then look to the side.
Okay.
Yeah. So and
you could deplete it, like you don't know if there's someone there stood in that spot that you're going to teleport to.
Oh man, I mean, it's an hour. It's an hour. If I can picture the Bahamas, a little bit of the Bahamas, I don't really know what part it is. If I can picture a relatively safe part of the Bahamas, and all I've got to do is sit there for an hour and wait for my vision to come back, I've got a free holiday and I'm fine with that.
I have a question. If he can't picture something really specific, does the radius increase? So
yeah.
So like what I'm saying is, if he can't picture, say, a particular beach in the Bahamas, and he just goes the Bahamas, does that mean next thing you know he's dropping from like 40,000 feet above the Bahamas, completely blind?
Latitude as well.
Well, it's just because you've zoomed out, like you've zoomed out.
Yeah, you're picturing like the world map, but just of the Bahamas.
So like if you picture literally like North America on a map, you're in space because you're a distance away. So like you're just going to be blind.
But at least when you're blind, you can still picture, so you could realize you're falling and then be like, right, I'm going home. That was a mistake.
But then you're there for 2 hours blind.
Okay.
But then at least you're safe and you're not falling to your death.
Yes, it's not crazy.
Whereas I've got a viable superhero.
What?
The see-through mute.
What? Except you're not mute when you see through.
No, because I'll have a gag. So I'd be like, "Thank you, see-through mute." I'd be like, "Oh."
You're missing one point here, James. Is let's say
wailing spirit.
You've really injured yourself somehow, and you are screaming in pain.
Screaming ghost.
You're screaming for help.
Screaming in pain, but the paramedics can't find you because every time you scream, you disappear. You're fucked, and you're breathing, going, "There he is! Ah, he's gone again."
Yeah, but I wouldn't be moving, though, would I? So, like,
no, but how are they going to operate on you? Like, if you got like a snapped leg, they're not going to know how to pick you up.
I'd just be like, knock me out. No. And I mean, that's self-discipline.
I guess that's a lot of control. Like, you're in the dentist getting a root canal.
Okay.
And you're screaming the dentist. Oh, shit.
I'm going to slightly change it in a way that the definition of a scream, like, so if you were shouting really loud, would you class that as screaming? I think it's when your voice reaches a certain like decibels.
Certain level.
So like there's a difference between like an Is it when
you be with intent?
Going, oh no, I've stubbed my toe, like really loud?
Is it when your voice is shrill? Is it like when you go from like to like
yeah, I think when you hit a certain decibel, that's when you.
And it doesn't matter.
So in that
you're a sound man, Kirk. What decibel would you say is good enough for a scream? I think decibel is the
wrong thing, isn't it? It's like it's more like the frequency. Like you want to get to like a certain octave.
Could be both. But someone's got a really low voice though, and they scream. They've got like a low scream.
Yeah,
decibel's pretty good. I'd say it's more intent. It's more like I'm screaming with anger or rage or pain or something. That's when you go invisible. So you have to. So actually, that's quite good. So you want to go invisible. You have to literally get angry or scared.
So I'm the invisible mug.
No.
But can you deal with that you say you got anxiety problems. Can you deal with being angry or scared many times a day?
There you go. So I'm scared all the time.
No, you don't have to be angry or scared. You just have to have to be making a very
it's my only thing
I'm scared all the time.
Making a very loud noise.
No.
That's my secret. I'm always scared.
See, now James likes being in punk bands. Every time he screams into that mic, he disappears.
That would be a great show.
That'd be, look, we're the band Spicklefoot and
We'd give him
our
some time to
invisible
think.
bass player. And I'm like, and just,
But the bass is still there.
The bass is still there.
You've helped him there. That's good.
So that's how I'd made money.
Yeah.
The record companies would be lapping that up.
Good thing you can play the bass. Otherwise,
Except photographers would hate you. Let's get a picture. Oh no,
put it on sport mode. It's fine.
No, I'd make it.
The only pictures of you would be breathing in.
Yeah,
The
but
only pictures of you.
I mean, on the other hand, though, I could like if I painted myself with the paint stay.
No.
Ugh. There'd be a way around that, I'm sure.
Okay.
Like, a morph suit.
Clothes.
Your clothes.
Oh shit.
Can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I can't have it both ways.
I think if you were, like with the bass, if you were carrying something that was bigger than a microwave.
So for example, my phone goes invisible.
Your phone can go invisible.
But
Because it's like an extension of you.
But if I was
Maybe your bass would go invisible, who knows?
if I was like carrying an amp and it dropped it on my foot, I went, next thing there'd be an amp there and somebody screaming.
Yeah.
And like going,
With
who's
nobody
screaming?
screaming.
Who's screaming? I'm like,
Mm.
I still think mine's better, man. Like, seriously, invisibility, that's a utility. I could get myself to the point where I'm screaming, but I'm mute, and I could do like some that crazy deep
But you've
sea.
only described going invisible in noisy conditions or conditions where you can be permitted to be noisy. What if you had to sneak out somewhere and you're like, oh, I really wish I could go invisible right now. I'm in such an awkward position. I don't want anyone to notice I'm here.
You're like, you're trying to get away from your parents.
Right.
All they hear is screaming and the door swing open.
But
you just legged it out.
am I any more disadvantaged than any normal person at that point? It's not a disadvantage, is it? Like, it's not a disadvantage compared to like, and like I said, I've got a gag. I just put the gag in.
I mean, at that point, you're better off just sneaking away and not invisible.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've got a ball gag, kinky.
Okay, so let's say we had the same mission, right? We're superheroes. We've got the same mission.
I feel like, Kurt, you're not in the position that you should be given this kind of law.
I'm coming.
All right, let's say you're on a mission. Right, you're going into somewhere. You got to rescue someone.
Yep.
They're a hostage. There's 5 bad guys with just little Glocks, little handguns.
Kirk's fucked. Straight up.
You got to get in and out without dying.
Right. Have we been there before?
No.
You're fucked, mate. I'm sorry, Kirk, you're done. Because you're going to teleport nearby based on a Google Maps image or whatever you've got that you can picture in your mind. Next thing you know, boom, you're at the front door, couple of guys, guns out. You're blind for an hour. Worst case, best case, you're captured. Worst case, you've got 2 in the head.
Well, how do we know we're there? How do you know they're in there, and how do you know where they are?
You've been given a tip by the police.
Okay, have they given us any footage, a camera, or anything like that?
No.
Then how the hell would you know where to go?
What do you mean? How would I know where to go? That's irrelevant.
Basically,
what I'm saying is, I'm not blind.
And how would you get in?
That's irrelevant. I've already taken it a step better than you in the fact that I'm not blind.
Well, let's say somehow I did manage to get close enough to there.
You would have to teleport to the woods or something nearby.
Okay. Here's the first question. Here's the scenario. There's the police. They're outside this warehouse-looking dodgy, spooky place.
Okay, cool. So I know where it is.
Yep. It's a warehouse. But you don't know what's inside. You can't see inside.
Okay.
All you know is that these guys have got a hostage and they're holding them for ransom. They're like, we want this much money. Until you get it, we're going to hold them. And if you don't do it in like the next 3 hours, I'm going to shoot them.
Okay, cool. I've got it.
And we're going to escape.
I've got it.
So first move, how are you getting in?
I teleport there, outside, and I'm a blind man, and I'm legitimately blind. They can test it whatever they want. I knock on the door and say, I've got your ransom. They've sent a blind man because what's a blind man going to do? And they let me in and say, he got the ransom. I don't have the ransom. This is where it starts to fall apart. Oh my God, no. I don't have the ransom. And I'm going to tell them I do have it. They just have to wait 60 minutes. Okay? So they sit
What's
me
your
down.
superhero name, Kirk?
Is it stupid, man?
Are you like the teleporting clock?
I don't know what time it is, but no, 60 minutes time I will.
The thing is, it's painful knowing that there's a better way to this, but I can't tell you because it's choosing sides.
Right. So,
no.
Here's what happens.
Oh no. Okay, you do it, I'll think.
Right. So here's what happens. First thing, your boy gets his costume on. So I've got the gag. The invisible Mulk is on his way. Right. Next thing, assuming this is a big city, because all of these superheroes live in big cities, I use the well-made public transport links to get where I need to go. Maybe I even ask the police to give me a ride if they're asking for my help. Right? Gag goes in. I see an opening somewhere. There has to be an opening somewhere because there's shit going down and this place is in disrepair, right? So there's got to be a broken window or something. So get as close as I can without going invisible.
I don't know, it's in disrepair.
I just asked him. He just nodded. He just nodded.
God.
It's a dodgy warehouse.
It's bad guys. They do,
Okay.
Bad guys
Fair
don't
enough.
keep up with DIY. We know that.
Fair enough.
Right. Get as close to the opening as I can without going invisible. Boom. Invisible time. Scream through. Right. I'm in the warehouse. In a dark corner. I'm visible again. I need to catch my breath. I survey the area. Now, one of the things I would have done before accepting this mission is one of the ways you know how like Batman did his little training montage before he became Batman? Once I discovered my power, one of the things I do is I do like deep sea diver training to improve my lung capacity.
That's an asthmatic.
I'd get there. I'd get a double lung transplant then.
Okay.
I'd have my inhaler with me. I'd do a bunch of exercise to increase my lung capacity. Right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then I'd survey the scene from above on the rafters, you know, where they're not looking.
How'd you get up there?
I climbed in through a disrepaired window. Right? Then
Just levitate.
then the next no, because like there'll be like a fire escape or something I can get to the roof with.
Mm.
Anyway, and then they hear it, the sound that they are desperate not to hear. I jump down from the ceiling, start karate kicking, like Jackie Chan double kick, you know, fighting them proper, like, you know, like when the old school Adam West Batman, where it's like pow, kablooey, sham, right? And then I walk out there with the hostage. Job's good. Thank you, Invisible Mulk. Thank you.
Okay, so let's say the government have told us this mission, right? That's who sent us.
No, the
Government.
police.
Police. Now, if we exist in the same universe, and the police wanted to choose one of us to go inside somewhere and get hold of a hostage and get him out, why would they choose a screaming invisible man?
Because he's not blind. And let's face it, they wouldn't pick either of us. They'd pick that bloke that can fly only as high as he can jump. As long as it's like LeBron James, we're okay.
I would teleport in, right? And they're the police. They've got GoPros and stuff. They can see for me. They can just tell me where to go, what to do, what to avoid, when to stop, when to go. And all I try and do is convince myself or convince the situation. Just to, can I co-teleport?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all I got to do is get a hand on that guy, and we're out of there.
Yeah, I mean but then you're blind for 2 hours outside.
That's okay. I'll teleport back to the police station.
So the police, like the bad guys, will come out and they'll be like shooting, like fuck these guys, man. You're a liability at that point, mate, because you're there in the battleground, blind. Like the cops are hiding behind their cars shooting. The bad guys with the weird masks are shooting with their machine guns from the top of the building. And you're there like...
There's the guy in the mask himself.
Yeah, but mine's a cool superhero
He's running
mask.
away screaming, but they can't see him.
Gag ball.
Mine's a cool superhero mask. It's a gimp mask. That's so that I can get out like my Spider-Man style quips, like, and zip it and go... Didn't see you there. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay, Dan, I think I've done the best I can.
Both of you are idiots.
What do you mean? Tell me.
You almost had something going.
What do you mean? How did
And then you started talking a load of rubbish about the rafters.
What was wrong with the rafters?
When you jump down and start Adam West punching me, you're gonna get shot.
No, I'm not. Can I co-invisible if we're co-invisibling things?
No. Unless the person is smaller than a microwave.
So I walk in with a microwave. I cram the person into the microwave.
And then Kirk, the part you missed was, why did you teleport there? You didn't need to.
You could have fucking walked.
You just instantly,
You could have walked.
you just instantly handicap yourself. You could have done everything he did and then teleported out.
Why didn't I ask this? Oh.
I think I deserve it because I got further into the mission than him.
It was annoying me so much that you didn't picture it how I picture it, and I know it's basically impossible, but you go, I liked your blind idea where you pretend to be blind. You don't actually have to be blind at the time. You could pretend to be blind and be like, right. I'm the one with the ransom. I need to check that person's okay. You walk in, you go, I need to check they're alive, like check their pulse. The moment you check their pulse, poof, you're gone.
That's good.
Yeah.
He wins.
Yeah, I'm going to take the point for that one.
Come on, Dan, give us a point.
Okay.
We're both shit superheroes compared to you.
I feel like I need a closing statement.
I really like this question as well. I really enjoyed that.
You've just found out you've got this power. It's the first thing you do.
Do I live with like a single aunt?
No.
In an apartment in Manhattan, or do I live in my current situation?
You live in your current situation.
Right. I literally run down the stairs, bollock naked, to Celeste. I go, Celeste, oh my God, look at this. Ah! Then immediately work out how to fuck with people.
Have a little brainstorm session.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what I don't need my eyes for. Because I know that I'll be blind for an hour.
Kurt's going to teleport to choir.
It's not far off. I was going to teleport to some kind of concert hall and be like, well, I can enjoy this for an hour and not have to worry about it. I've got them for free.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is if you've just found out you've got this power, do we get found out in this way? Like, because I imagine
I was also going to ask this.
You've just like stubbed your toe.
Yeah, and I got invisible. I'm like, shit. And then I'm like, ah. And I go a little bit invisible. I'm like, ah. And I go really invisible. Like, how the hell do you work out, A, that you can teleport, B, that you're blind for an hour? Like, how do you, like, is it that you wake up one day and you go, shit, I'm blind? You get out of bed and you're like, where am I? I'm by the ocean.
Yeah.
I think what would probably
my
more
power's
likely...
much easier to control.
You accidentally have a dream about something.
Oh, no. Or what's probably more likely is, as I'm awake, really need the fucking toilet. Fucking sneeze. I'm on the toilet, but I can't see for shit. And I'm probably screaming. Yeah. And while I'm screaming, he's in the house going, what? And I'm going, I'm blind. And he's going, and then he starts screaming and finally go invisible.
Nice.
Do you feel I'd probably be on the toilet?
I think I deserve the point because I've dried my mouth out so much shoving that blanket into my mouth.
I feel like this is... Kirk was winning for quite a while. And then you were an idiot.
Yeah.
But then you're an idiot as well.
What was wrong with mine? He hasn't even got a superhero.
The fact that
name.
You have a power, and then suddenly your power was, I can beat anyone up with guns.
It's like you were going somewhere and you like really thought it through, and then you just kind of gave up.
I just went along the casual superhero trope of you trained in martial arts.
Well, you're not.
Well, I would have trained myself.
Only go invisible when you're screaming.
What, in the 3 hours you've got?
Yeah.
During that montage.
Yeah, it's a montage, Dan. It takes 5 minutes.
Oh,
wow. Okay, Dan, who's won?
Well, really, the idea was to convince me which one I would pick.
Yeah.
And there was only one argument for one of those things that would make me pick either one of them.
Right.
And it was Kirk's point that he could teleport to the Bahamas there'd be risk involved, as we established. But you can teleport to the Bahamas, be blind for an hour, chill there for the day, and then head home for the night.
Small price to pay.
Yeah.
An hour of not being able to see the sea.
Mm.
An hour of not being able to see.
But where's his superhero name?
Yeah. You can think of a really good superhero name.
Can it beat the Invisible Monk?
The Invisible Mole.
Or Slightly See-Through Man?
But at least now I've got my two characters for who would win in a fight.
The Screaming Ghost. Oh no, the Screaming Spectre.
I like that. Oh no. Oh,
yeah, Banshee's already taken.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Puff man.
I'd just be called Stevie Wonder. I wander around.
Stevie wondering where he is now.
Yes.
Oh, Kurt gets the point.
Yes.
God damn it. God damn it.
Oh, I felt good.
I feel like this is getting away from me now. I can't even
good.
like. I know that I've lost this. Like, I can't get a point back now.
Not until next episode.
Not until next. I've got to have a blinder next episode, then, haven't I?
Oh man.
Right.
Oh.
So at the end of round 2, Kirk is on 4, Dan is on 4, and everybody's favourite host, Thick Jim, is on 3. So
I think that's the first time you've introduced yourself as Thick Jim, isn't it?
Probably.
On this show.
I go I go by many names.
Logistical equipment.
That's still my favourite.
Right, guys. So now we approach the final question.
One of us is going to go ahead right now.
Round 3. Fight. So, bit of a twist on the classic formula for you today, gentlemen.
When isn't there?
I know, it's weird, isn't it? Like, we've basically had one normal question and everything ever since. We've been trying to, like, one-up each other. Right. So, this question, I'm going to allow you... Well, think of it as a Smash Brothers team fight. You're going to pick one universe, and you're allowed up to 4 characters from that area. Okay?
Write these down.
I'm not saying now, what I don't want you chopping and changing and going, I'll have one from this, one from that, one from this, one from that. It's like you, for example, this is nothing to do with the question, but let's say it was musicians. I'd let you have
no Googling.
4 members of Iron Maiden. Yeah.
Mm. So you're picking the universe, right?
Yes.
You're not just going to go pick any universe.
No.
Okay, good.
I was worried about this going on. Well, jeez.
It's like, whoa.
So the universe we are working from is children's TV characters. But there's a caveat. When we're talking children's TV characters, we're talking CBBS level. I don't want you to turn. I'm not expecting you to turn around and go, the Justice League's on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like proper baby.
Daytime TV with a presenter.
Yeah. No, well,
not
not necessarily with a presenter, but like think CBBS level of,
mostly puppets.
That kind of vibe. So go for it, boys.
I'm torn between 2. One, just because I have a soft spot for them, and the other one because can't think of anything better.
Kirk,
is Bob the Builder okay with? Okay.
Bob the Builder's an accepted universe.
I see what you mean. So we got to pick a basic universe within the universe,
and then I want 4 characters out of
from that show.
Yeah. So if you're going with Bob, are you going with Bob the Builder? Okay, Bob the Builder. Pick 4 characters from Bob the Builder.
Muck.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Rolly.
Yep.
Give me a minute. I'll think of another one. Well, I can think of them.
Sing that song, Dan. Sing that song.
I know them. I'm just trying to decide which one would be.
I mean, Scoop seems like he's a pretty...
I was thinking maybe Scoop.
Scoop's a pretty utilitarian guy.
But I was also thinking maybe like Dizzy. Because both Muck and Rolly are quite big.
So Dizzy's like your speed play.
Yeah. And Cement.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Dizzy.
Okay. So you taking Scoop as well? You need 4.
Oh, yeah. Who else is there? Lofty. He's a wuss. It's got to be Scoop, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh. What have
You've committed now. First choice.
Yeah, Scoop.
Right. So we have from the Bob the Builder verse.
Scoop, Muck, and Dizzy. Rolly 2.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Come on then, Kirk. What you got back?
I'm making notes of his one so I can fight back. Oh, that's a really good one, Dan.
I can't. I'll see if I can help you out, but I can't think of any others that.
I mean,
I've already forgotten my other one.
Oh, really? I know now that Dan.
Oh, it's the Teletubbies now.
Now that Dan has shown his cards, I know what I'd use to counter that.
Yes,
but I'm not sure if I'm. I don't want to throw you out.
Oh, I mean, can I?
Maybe.
Pokemon.
Nah, that's not CBeebies.
Pokemon's a bit too old, I'm afraid.
It was on like children's morning.
Nah, it's
SMTV.
Yeah, it's not like preschool.
Oh, okay.
Like you want something where everyone has to learn a lesson at the end of it. It's got to be one of those.
It has to be, yeah.
Or
like Pokemon is not on the same level as Bob the Builder.
What's that program that came? It was a bit like Teletubbies, but they were all like weird, bold things, and they flew around.
Oh, what are they called? B-Boyd. Oh, I can't remember. I know which ones you mean. They're weird.
Yeah, but they can fly. That's canonical. So I know what I'd pick to outdo.
I've already got the Tweenies.
Yeah, the Tweenies.
Yeah.
Balamori.
Oh, mate. Can't even name a Balamori character. The guy in the pink house.
That's the problem. It's trying to think of them 4 characters.
I know what I'd pick to counter Dan's, and I'd probably come out strong with it because I think you'd struggle to beat it, especially if you call in the right character.
I know. If you've gone with construction,
it's in there googling it.
I'm actually just writing down things.
Oh.
If you've gone construction, I'm going Thomas Tank Engine.
Oh,
that's what I would have picked. Who are your characters? Come on.
Thomas, of course.
Yeah.
Henry.
Okay.
Recon.
Henry is a helicopter.
Yep.
That's Harold.
That Harold.
Yep.
I meant Harold.
Harold. Good.
But Henry's the green one, right? There is a Henry in there.
Yeah, he's like the medium.
Yep. Henry the green one. Oh, what's the big red one called? Fuck. No, I'd also bring in the Fat Controller.
Okay. He's not called that anymore. There's your 4, though.
He was
morbidly obese control.
He's called Sir Topham Hatt.
Okay, Sir Topham Hatt.
Okay.
I'll bring him in as well.
Okay.
I need someone to guide the crew.
Right. Okay. Now, to make it fair.
Where's the fight?
To make it fair, it's a rail yard.
Okay.
With some construction going on.
Okay.
So it's GTA.
Think like, yeah.
Oh, it is GTA. You can't stop the train in GTA.
GTA shipping.
Yeah, it's like a shipping yard.
Yeah, okay. Well,
round 3.
The only one. So you've got Fat Boy.
Yep.
Helicopter.
Yep.
And 2 trains.
2 trains. Yep.
So the 2 trains are useless because they can only go backwards and forwards on a track.
Okay. We are on a rail yard though. There's plenty of rail.
And there's them turntable things.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's got Sir Topham Hatt could be pulling them levers.
Okay, so Dizzy can take out. I'm going to keep calling him Fat Boy. Dizzy can take out Fat Boy easily and put cement on the rails.
I like that. Oh, okay,
but they have those things, don't they, where it's like rails built into the concrete.
Yeah. So I'll put cement in the rails
over. Yeah.
Put the gaps for the wheels to go in. Helicopter. How do I beat a helicopter? Scoop's got a big hooky thing on his back.
But there's no way that Harold's going to fly that low.
So what's Harold going to do then? He's just going to stay in the air. If he's not going to come down and fight, then ain't got nothing to worry about, do I?
Harold also has water. Does he have water? The water things? Does he have that?
Yeah, he has that. He has that fire bucket thing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Fire bucket.
Just going to clean my trucks.
No. I keep your cement wet.
Yeah.
I don't let it set.
Wash the cement away.
Yeah. Okay. Wash it away. Keep it going. My trains can keep going. They're actually going to plow.
He's going backwards and forwards.
They're going to plow all of them.
If my trucks stay in sort of one area where there's no tracks, it doesn't matter. You're rendered useless.
True.
But then
Muck could knock a train over if it hit in the side. Good enough. If he was feeling risky. I'd send Rolly after the Fat Controller.
Bro,
Brutal.
You watch Roger Rabbit.
Jesus. Oh man,
What's Thomas doing right now?
I feel like
Thomas.
Muck would kamikaze a train. He's got that kind of energy.
Banzai! Screaming fucking banzai for like 6 minutes because he's got a top speed of about 3. Banzai! And then Thomas just moves at the last minute and he carries
the problem with your characters is that all eye level is pretty much on the floor.
Oh.
Okay, that's all they can see. They can only see what's in front of them.
They do have.
Dizzy can turn. Okay,
Dizzy can turn,
but still, it's level like this.
Yeah,
and
from a truck height, so maybe like our eye level.
And I'm pretty sure, thinking
because Muck's eyes are quite high up.
Yeah, Muck's eyes are, but
Rolly's are probably the low.
Scoops, I would say, are only like nipple height.
Yes, no, because it's a big truck. He's about eye height with Bob, who's a normal human man.
Bob's a midget.
But can I also say that I'm going to keep calling the Fat Controller because it's what I know him as. The Fat Controller is in control right now. He can pull the strings.
He's in the control room.
He's in the control room and he can bring everyone together.
Demolished.
And although I've got a player less technically in terms of the fighters, but now they're organized. You've left Bob and Wendy behind.
Yeah.
Bob's the
They're
boss.
having a cup of tea with Postman Pat.
Bob's the boss. But he's the only reason things get done.
It's
literally in the song.
I imagine Postman Pat and Fireman Sam are both quite into blood sports.
They're placing
bets.
Yeah. They don't care.
The song isn't called Dizzy and Muck and whatever. It's called Bob the Builder, Can We Fix It? I brought my main character.
It also isn't called Go Fight These Trains, You Trucks.
But I've brought my main character. It's Thomas and Friends.
It is Thomas and Friends.
I have brought my main character and literally fulfilled his destiny.
Okay.
With that power, he will take over. He will rise.
Bringing
Thomas is turning into the Thomasord.
Oh.
Can they do that?
Which I think would be lopsided based on the fact that you've got Henry, who's a bigger train, and I imagine the trains would be the legs.
Bringing the main character means nothing. We established that when Genie beat Peter Pan.
Fair enough. Damn it. Cross episode.
No, that's not true because we established the genies aren't knife proof.
Okay, right, let's get technical here. So, this whole time, your characters are trying to judge how fast my trains can go and when exactly on this rail, yes, they are conformed to stay on, they're going to hit, right? Harold comes along, boosts their speed. Not only that, he's fucking distracting. He's flying around, distracting your guys, not knowing where we are, where I am, what
Doesn't he have
Thomas.
a big skyhook?
He does have a big skyhook.
Oh, lift them up.
He lifts him up, puts him down on the track, and bang! Thomas has gone straight into him.
But how quickly?
Yeah, you've got. Yeah,
I think
just lift them up and drop them, man.
Yeah,
I think we're
I'd be
both
like-
underestimating how quick both our characters can go. It's going to be a very slow
it's a
speed
slow
fight.
race. To be fair, steam trains can't get up to speed that quickly.
No,
but
the only one that can do speed is Dizzy,
No,
but
Harold.
rendered useless by your water.
this is true. This isn't how. This is
Even
how quick
helicopters
we can
aren't
go.
that quick, especially in that smaller space. If
But
they go up high, they're fine.
If he
But
gets
when-
his little hook thing, he could just pick them up and just like throw them away.
True. I mean, Dizzy for sure. I'm not sure about Muck. Muck and Scoop and
Rolly probably even. It's big.
Yeah,
cement
they're quite heavy.
metal. Well, Dizzy.
You can at least hold on to him and be like, "You're not going anywhere, Mister," and then bang.
Dizzy was a good choice in theory.
Until Harold came along with a water bucket.
Till wet.
The question is: this sounds like it's a long, drawn-out fight. So, who's gonna rust first?
Oh god.
Who's gonna run out of fuel first?
Oh well, I'm a steam train.
Yep.
I've got coal and he's got and Thomas and Henry both have giant coal things on the back, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They can just keep feeding themselves.
They have got.
Do they run on fuel though? All of them.
What?
Do you ever see?
Yours are diesel, right?
Do you ever see? Do you ever see Bob fueling them up?
Do you ever see Bob taking a shit? There's things that you have to. There's things that you just have to accept as like
Bob banging Wendy.
Listen, they don't do it. They are.
I'm just saying, like, why did neither of you pick Noddy?
I had Noddy written down,
Okay.
but then I was thinking what you said was if I know what his is, what am I going to come back with? And I was like, I was thinking Noddy, but I couldn't think of a fourth character.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I was hoping I could bring the PC. Is it PC Plod? Is that him from Noddy? Is it PC Plod?
Does he have?
Or is that something else?
Does he have a piece?
Peace plot.
Shoot out the tires.
Just comes and arrests them all. Just put sanctions on the wheels. Puts
Clamps
on the wheels.
I think it comes down to what Harold can do, because I don't think your trains can do much as long as
Depends on if they're willing to.
as long as they're not idiots and sit on the tracks.
Depends on if they're willing to die for the cause.
Or what, you think Harold would just drop them?
No, I don't even think that. Like, steam engines are essentially big pressurized containers full of fire.
They are kamikaze trains.
Yeah.
So everyone dies.
Everyone dies, but
except Harold.
Except Harold.
Who's in the air.
He's in the air. Does this rail yard have containers and cranes?
I would just that's my image of it.
Well, then my fat controller's got control of all of that shit, and he's dropping containers all over your guys.
Not if he's being steamrolled.
He's in a building with all the levers and stuff.
What can go through buildings? Muck. Muck and bulldozers can go through buildings.
Then I park Henry and Thomas just on the outside, so you can't get there. You got to go through the trains first.
Dizzy can get through a door, and then he's undercover. Or she? Dizzy a girl or boy?
I think Dizzy's a girl.
Yeah, this is a girl. For
Gender
sure.
neutral.
Why do we assume machines' genders?
Because they've given them names.
Gender neutral.
Like Dizzy. Like it's quite
Yeah, but is Dizzy, would you consider Dizzy a masculine or feminine?
I would consider Dizzy a girl.
Yeah.
I think Dizzy's a girl.
Yeah.
I always grew up believing Dizzy was a girl.
Same. But yeah, Dizzy would go in through the door, small enough, and then no worry about the impending water from above.
What are you on about? That bucket's big, mate. Harold could flood the shit out of that building. He'd drown the fat controller too, but...
Yeah.
Also, in Thomas Land, I know we're in a rail
Dizzy
yard.
could probably just run over the fat controller and it'd be just as effective.
in Thomas Land, which I'm guessing we're in some form of Thomas Land, if we're in a rail yard.
Yeah,
right?
I mean...
There's always a tunnel.
Bob the Tank Engine Land.
Can we assume there is a tunnel nearby?
Well, I assume that the entrance to the rail yard for the trains would be through
a tunnel. My guys are used to going into dark spaces, dark tunnels.
Okay.
We back into a dark tunnel and let you come chase us.
Well,
you can't see shit.
They're not going in there. They also have headlights in their eyes.
Oh, they do.
That is lit. I've seen an episode where they actually light up their eyes.
That is canon.
So they can see in the dark. So
oh damn, they're not used to it though.
Your point
it's
is
still
pointless.
They've got lights, but they're not used to using them. They're always in the daytime.
Well, no, because there's an issue.
Plus, Thomas is quite frequently a little bitch. Like the amount of times that you see that grotesque.
He's barely a main character. He's like Frodo.
I'm assuming the Thomas the Tank Engine you're thinking of is the same one that I'm thinking of. That was stop motion puppet.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah, not CGI
not
crap.
This CGI crap. So Thomas always had. Do you remember most of the trains at some point had what I would call the little bitch face, where it looked like they were trying to squeeze out of shit.
Yeah.
When they were sulking.
Yes, sure.
But I will actually to throw fuel in the fire. The fat controller is canonically also a mean son of a bitch. Do you remember that time that one of them went on strike and he basically just bricked him up in a tunnel?
Oh, he did.
Oh,
if we're accepting that Thomas the Tank,
so he's going to turn on his own team.
No,
he's going to brick them up in the tunnel.
No, what I'm saying is that if we accept,
ironically, he's going to brick up building vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, bricks ain't going to do nothing against the bulldozer.
Where's
he going to get the cement from, Dizzy?
Let's go back to standard war tactics. My war song is going to kick the crap out of your war song. It strikes fear into the hearts of every headphone user. Dun 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 dun. Ah, man, you're screwed. What you got? Bob the Builder isn't even there.
Oh, they'll make up their own song.
Yeah, so obviously you're right in that the Thomas the Tank Engine theme with Thomas there is still a legitimate battle song.
For sure.
Dan?
I don't think we need a battle song. We've just got the harsh grinding of the engines. The chugging, especially Muck.
Is that going to be louder than my steam engines though?
I've got a new opinion of Muck.
I feel like Dan's got a bit of a thing for Muck.
I think so.
And is it weird that Muck spelled backwards is cum?
And he's big and red. Is he the red one?
Yeah.
I think he's got a Muck fetish.
That guy's a demon.
Is he a dirty
He
boy?
could take him on his own.
Mm-hmm.
The others are just watching. He's bad.
But Harold's still up in the sky.
Yeah, Muck can fly.
I'm in the sky. I'm dropping. He's dropping water. He's
Muck's
dropping.
catching it.
Shit, I didn't think you said water then. I thought you said mortar. I was like,
Dropping water.
when did Harold get fucking artillery? When did the island of Sodor become a military base?
It just popped to the body shop.
Oh wait, Harold's got a spotlight, right? He can start blinding your guys while
he's
my
also
trains are coming in, taking them out.
He's also got 40 cal twin cannons.
He can't get that. He can't get that low, because if my eyesight is low enough,
Shine light in your eyes. Yeah, shine a light in your eyes.
View from above. Just be casting a shadow, an inconvenient shadow.
An inconvenient shadow.
Can I ask why they have beef in the first place?
Bob
They were set up.
has been given the contract to build the bridge that connects the island of Sodor to the mainland, which Thomas and his friends realise renders the steam train obsolete
Yeah.
because cars will turn up.
I'm actually really invested in this now.
This is now.
Tell us more.
This is a long time ago.
You can't stop
Before-
the inevitable.
So they're building a bridge.
Before the days of Henry Ford was Thomas the Tank Engine.
I'm guessing that
Did
Bob.
you like my narrator voice?
I did. I'm guessing Bob is purposely not building a rail track over this bridge.
Oh yeah, no. Bob is. But I'm not saying Bob's a dick. I'm not saying Bob's a dick. But Bob has been awarded a very generous contract, and there's some things at play that mean steam trains are on the way out. We all know that. An antiquity. And even if he was train tracks, like Thomas can't compete with
Bullet
HS2.
trains, yeah. Bob the Builder is building HS2 is what's what we're getting at.
Yeah, that's higher stakes.
Shit.
Yeah.
HS,
You can't stop the
HS3 that connects the island of Sodor to London and saves 20 minutes on your journey
inevitable.
compared to a helicopter ride from Harold that'll get you there direct in 40 minutes. I don't even know where Sodor is geographically. I'm assuming it's Britain. Otherwise, it's going to be a fucking long bridge.
That's probably why the contract's so
high.
so much moolah.
The problem with Bob the Builder characters, they're little bitches, and they can't help. And they can't help but
We've already established that the Thomas Tank Engine ones are, though.
Yeah, but yours are little bitches too, and they can't help do the work.
Except for
So
Muck.
all I've got to do with Rolly, especially, all I've got to do is drop some coal in front of him, and he's going to go, "Oh, I want to crush this." And all I've got to do is drop it in a convenient place, and bang, Henry's in him.
I'll drop some coal in front of you, and Thomas Tank Engine.
I can't pick it up. He can't pick it up. All he can do
put
is
it
roll.
inside me.
All he can do is roll.
Well, I did get a little bit confused when you said that Henry was in Rowley. I was like, this isn't the fan fiction that I'm willing to create right now.
Yeah. Rolly's not going to get distracted by coal.
You never heard of rolling coal?
Rock and coal.
I feel like
We've reached an end.
I feel like we should actually just fight.
I feel like we've genuinely reached our first ever, and I know this is only 4 episodes in, so it's not a massive thing. I genuinely feel like we've reached our first ever draw.
Stalemate.
Okay, guys, we'll decide one last thing.
It's really hard to picture things that are so built not to fight.
Yeah.
Fighting.
Yeah. Apart from Muck. He's built to destroy.
Technically, all of them are.
Yeah, there you go. Or, well, no. I know it's technically going against me, but Dizzy is not built to fight.
Yeah, true. She's
Dizzy is built to build.
So let's say we've had the wheat separated from the chaff, and we're all wheat, baby. Who's the last 2 people standing? Or 2
Muck.
things standing?
It's got to be Harold and Muck, right?
Got to be Harold and Muck.
It's either Harold and Muck or Muck and the Fat Controller. That's sure.
Nah, I think the Fat Controller would go down easy.
He's gone first?
He's going down easy.
He's been severed by Scoop's tail bucket.
I think, so here's how it'd go. Dizzy going into the building where the Fat Controller is, either just ramming him like the absolute unit she is, or cementing him up because there's no water in there. Dizzy is then pretty much rendered useless, panics, goes onto the track, gets hit by one of the trains. You decide. Dizzy's gone. However, Dizzy gets caught under the wheel of said train.
That's not necessarily true.
And
They had one of those cattle.
Nah, and derails that train.
I feel like you're biased towards your own side here.
Well, of course. Scoop and Rolly are trying to figure out a way of dealing with the other train. So they both just sit there and wonder what to do. Muck comes flying in, like top speed of 7 miles an hour, and tips the other train over. Scoop and Rolly, seeing this, goes, well, what's the point of us being here? They leave.
No. Right, I'm going to at least give Kirk some credit here. I'm going to say that Henry kamikazes himself and literally overloads Henry was
Harold.
It? No.
Henry the train.
Oh, Henry
the
the train.
train. He literally dumps all of his coal from his trunk into his junk.
Pulls out a lighter.
Completely overpressurizes himself, rides them rails straight into two of your boys.
Barbecues.
Boom. Scoop and who was it? Rolly gone.
Yeah. And then I'll let Muck trash Thomas.
And then Muck. No, Thomas has been trashed by Dizzy's panic.
Oh yeah.
So it's just Muck and Harold. The stare down. They look at each other. Fades to black.
Okay, so
roll credits.
So the last two, Muck and Harold.
To be honest, it comes down to your question of how much fuel do they have, because Harold can only stay in the air for as long as they can fly.
And Muck can just sit there and wait at this point. Shut down.
He can turn his engine off.
Just turn his engine off and just watch.
I mean, what can Muck,
your move coming to my turf down here?
What can Muck do if Harold just lands on top of him?
He can tip his thing up. His
Can he do that?
His back thing has full range of motion. Well, I say full range of motion.
Thing.
It goes up and down like to tip the stuff that's in there out.
Oh, okay,
and then his front one, his front
it?
one can also go up and down.
Yep.
I had the toys of all of them. I remember.
Oh, dang.
He's admitting defeat here. Look, you can hear it in his voice. Nothing compares.
I'm willing Kirk to throw something off the wall here to
Nothing compares to Muck. He is the freight train of construction vehicles.
Okay, I've got it.
Too late.
Harold flies in
to
the side, so your fucking up and down shit can't do anything from the side.
Flies
into the side of Muck, pops all his tires.
He doesn't have tires, he has tracks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The rest of them have tires.
You scuppered it there, mate.
There goes that argument. He gives up his propellers.
He gives up. There you go.
No, wait, he gives up his propellers.
He gives up.
He flies horizontally.
Tries to cut Muck.
Cut Muck in half.
Nope.
So what we're
and in doing so, he has ended up with no propellers. I'm hoping it worked.
It's just a pile of...
So basically, your entire team had to kamikaze themselves.
Yeah, helicopters...
That's Thomas.
Helicopter blades aren't actually that... Like, they can't cut through things. Like,
I mean, they can cut through people's heads.
They can cut through people, but Muck is a unit.
I think, as much as I hate to see it, because I am such a Thomas the Tank Engine fan, I'm going to have to give the point to Dan this time. So, at the end of episode 4, that brings us to 5 for Smokey D, 4 for Kirk.
Let's go.
And 3 for me. So, time to make a comeback, I think, boys. Let's see what the next episode holds.
No, that's it. We're finished now. I've won.
So that was episode 4, guys, of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild. I hope you enjoyed it. Quite a bit of changes. Last time we ended up all on even Stevens. This time, very much not.
Yeah, I feel like in the space of 2 episodes, I've gone from first to worst, and that needs to change.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you again soon.